Texas on a Thursday edition of Trunk Nation. It's Eddie Trunk, your place to talk rock here on Sirius XM Volume. And it is great to see this guy on his home turf here. We have King Diamond with us. Good to see you, King.
Oh, great to see you too.
How are you, man?
Doing good, absolutely.
You're looking good? You're feeling good? The last time we had you on that metal show, you were telling us about all the health ailments and stuff you had endured to get better. How you feeling with all that?
Feel good. I mean, it's we've been touring since, and working on a new album later this year. We'll be writing and recording for a brand new studio album, King Diamond. And we are finishing up the DVD at the moment. So we've been working on that for a while. I'm sure a lot of people are wondering why it has taken so long, but it's like a double Blu-ray DVD, and there's 2 full concerts on it. But it's the way we recorded it, the way it's been edited, that is very unique. I don't think our fans will have seen anything like it ever before.
How so? What are you trying? What's the goal?
The 2 concerts are, there's Grass Pop, so that's big festival, with a big production. They both have the same production actually, but it's a big place, of course, with 30 or 40,000 people. The other show is from Philadelphia, and some clips have also been taken and used from Detroit. But that was indoor theater show, so it's very different. But on the entire tour, both tours, we recorded ourselves 9 GoPros every night.
Wow.
On the tour, placed different places in a coffin, on the lanterns we hold and use around the grandma's wheelchair had a thing on it, on guitars, on just railings, and it was everywhere. We didn't even know where they were until afterwards. We would get surprised and say, "Oh wow, there's one of these again." So they had a lot of this. You can imagine.
Really unique angles, I would think, right?
Because you'll never see them from other bands, because you would have to have a guy standing with a camera.
Right.
And there was 25 shows that we did it to. And then the 2 shows that they did with 9 Pro cameras on top of it, So, but we had all these other angles multiplied by 9, 25 shows. I mean,
the editing must be taking forever though, because the more cameras you have to. That's the more footage you have to look at, right?
That's the deal. And we're 98% done with the Philadelphia show, and it has blown my mind away. I can't. Every time I watch a few songs from it, I see new things I didn't see before, because there is so much. It's as if you were given a 10x VIP pass, but you would still not see all that, even if you stood there and saw it for yourself. Because I'll suddenly be walked the 2nd floor, across the bridge, straight to watch you, or the actress has a lantern in her hand, and it's the one that's filming me coming towards her. It's crazy angles, it's really interesting.
So you have 2 completely separate shows that you're going to put out like this on DVD?
Yeah.
And so one is Philadelphia.
And the other is Grass Pop.
Which is in where, Sweden?
That's Belgium.
Belgium.
Belgium Outdoor Festival, big one. There's also some clips from Hellfest mixed into it here and there, for having more angles even. So,
right. And this is from the most recent touring you did?
Yeah, 2016 in Europe and 2015 over here in the US.
Was it already too?
It's crazy.
That long ago that you did the US stuff?
It's crazy.
Because I remember, not being able to make your show. I know you did your show in New York, and I remember I was bummed I couldn't get there, but I know that you did a lot of shows, and I know the shows were really big, and you brought your full production into everything. I mean, people were raving about what you were doing. And then you went all over the world with that?
Yeah. I mean, we went, now when we start again here, there's so much that has happened for us that is really, really cool. So we are finishing this off. It'll come out this year for sure, and it will be very, very unique. As soon as it's done, I mean, Andy LaRocque is coming here to Frisco as soon as the DVD is finished, it'll be a matter of 2-3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Then he is showing up here to initiate my home studio, where I'm going to do all the vocals. It's complete.
For another record?
Yeah, for a brand new King Diamond studio album.
And is the music done yet, or you?
The music is not done yet. That's what we're going to start writing.
So you work with Andy.
My storyline is about 80% done.
Can you reveal where you're going with it, or not yet?
Rather not, but there's some very unique things I'm putting into it this time, where you will relate to some of the sounds you hear on it, because it's sounds that you will hear on certain days in your own life or your private life. You're outdoors or whatever, and you might hear certain sounds, and you will guaranteed think, if you heard the album, say, wonder if that thing King talked about could have happened when I heard that sound here. because it has. I shouldn't say so much, but I want to talk about it. You know,
I understand, yeah.
I've told our new management. King Diamond has a management for the first time in our entire career.
Oh, Slagle must be happy.
I think he is. So I was actually the one asking him for if he had somebody that could help a little bit with all the statement calculations, because it really started to fill me up, you know. And he said, yeah, I think I might have someone. And then he put us in contact with, I didn't know who he had in mind. And suddenly we were having meetings with some managements, and we signed up with 5P management, which is
Corey and those guys, Corey and Bob, I know those. Those are great.
Yeah.
It's a big company, man.
Yeah.
So that's great to have that sort of stuff behind you. They got Slipknot and
Megadeth, Stone Sour. I think they have a bunch of very, very cool bands. So we'll be. They're already working now on with our super booking agents, which are also major AGI. You know, Michael Arfin and Nick Storch.
Mm-hmm.
Who are working on the big festivals over in Europe for 2019, and then there will be, everywhere.
So you went through so much to with your health. When you were on that metal show, we talked about it with your heart and everything that you've had heart surgery and all the things you've gone through.
Yeah.
This tour that you're documenting on this DVD, that was really the first big undertaking you did since all your health stuff, right?
Yes.
How did you feel? How did you feel every night going out there around the world and playing? Because it was the first time you did it since everything.
Up and down the stairs to the second floor. You know, I mean, I'm doing everything that I would normally do. I'm careful. You have to be careful when you're up and down these stairs, you know, but it went absolutely well. I mean, I'm in pretty good shape.
Did you have to go through? Did you go through any sort of training? I mean, you look great physically. I mean, did you do anything different in terms of make sure you had your wind and make sure you were able to sing and move?
I walk a lot. I do what the doctors have told me, and that is walk 4 times a week for 1.5 miles. And so walk fast there. And it doesn't matter what the weather is like. I know my wife doesn't like so much when it gets hot and clammy. Yeah, sometimes it does, you know.
Humid, yeah.
That's what I love, because it gives me that extra challenge, you know. I get through that stuff, I get through any show, you know. So it's a lot of that stuff, and to stay in shape, and then singing in my home studio, you know, a lot to keep in shape, be ready to do the shows when they come. The worst for me as a singer is that I'm the one in the entire band that gets the least oxygen, because, you know, I take a big breath and then I have to sing and let it out while that breath is lasting before I can take my next breath. The others can, you know, and be playing, you know. So it's that's a challenge there, you know. But there was a couple of shows where we had some what do you call those? It was medical people, but they were there for just
EMTs, emergency medical guys.
Yeah, they're just there.
They were there to watch the show, but it was good to have them there just in case.
Exactly. You're thinking like, you know, hey, you never know. But they actually, one show measured me and my blood oxygen and stuff like that, and they were very surprised, you know, how great it went. So I stay healthy, you know. I drink the right things. I'm totally hydrated nowadays. Also, I make sure that I.
For people that don't know and didn't know the story, you had open heart surgery.
Yeah.
And you had. Did you actually have a heart attack, or you almost had one?
It was a heart attack.
You did have a heart attack, right?
Yeah.
And then did you have to be revived from that?
No.
Did you lose consciousness, or
no? They took me to the hospital. Hospital was about 2 minutes from my house, so I can see when we take our walks.
Were you here in Texas? You were home when it happened.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. At least you're.
Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah.
So it's and it was strange coming in there, and then suddenly they check you up. They had to go in with a camera, you know, and up and look at the heart inside through the veins and all that. And they came back and said, okay, that little thing went well. You're semi-alert during the whole thing. And then they said, but it doesn't look good up there. We have to go in and do a triple bypass. And like, okay, what is this? The next day I'm signing papers for all kinds of stuff if I die.
Yeah, sure.
All that stuff. It suddenly reality hits you very hard in the face, you know. And as soon as
what did they say was the cause? You smoked for a long time, right?
I smoked for a long time, yes. But that, of course, is a reason. But just as big a reason was the hereditary stuff, right?
You have a family history of heart disease?
Yes.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, as we get older, you got to keep up with that stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
And you look at your family history stuff, and that's the best indicator that they could dictate what you should and shouldn't be, you know, doing and trying to do, and what your family history is a big factor.
I was lucky with a very, very skilled surgeon that did it, and now I have. I wouldn't want to live without this guy. My Dr. Klein is my cardiologist now, and he brings me in every 4 months when we're out touring and stuff like that, because he wants to see that I'm doing all right.
Or I thought maybe he was a metal fan. Is he a metal fan?
Well, he, you know what? The funny thing is, the first day I came into his office and we started talking, I told him I play music and it has to do with horror and all this stuff, you know. And then he said, "Horror? Wow, the most horror song I've ever heard was DOA with Blood Rock, you know, who are from Texas." And they said, "Have you ever heard
No.
it?" It is creepy. It is so creepy. And I said, "Are you kidding me? You know Blood Rock?" I mean, he came and visited
Only
us
you would
one
find
day.
a metal cardiologist.
And how he loves what we're doing, you know. And he brought the original single of that song DOA to my house.
But wait, he's into metal and he did not know Merciful Fate or King Diamond before?
No, he didn't. No, not. He likes what we're doing. He might not have been into metal
Right,
as such, but he
okay.
liked Blood Rock. He liked a lot of different music. He believes very strongly also that music has a very healing power, and would love to be able to create something more. You know, he has birthday the same day as me. It's
Oh
pretty
my
amazing.
gosh. Hey, we got to take a quick commercial break. We got so much more to talk with King Diamond about. He's here live with me here from McKinney, Texas at the Guitar Sanctuary. It's Eddie Trunk. Let's take a break. We'll work in some questions for King as well. I know we got some people on hold already. Toll-free number is 844-686-5863, 8446-VOLUME. So much we want to talk about, so much good stuff to get into. With King Diamond, we'll continue right after this here on Volume.
Eddie Trunk.
That's V as in Victor, VITRAZZA, Vitraza.com.
Use the discount code 99 to save 10% on any in-stock or custom size.
Vitraza.com.
Hey, this is Mark Tremonti from Alter Bridge, and you're tuned into the only station that offers you talk that rocks. This is Volume Channel 106.
Eddie Trunk. Think of him as Wikipedia for rock music, except accurate.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Trunk Nation with Eddie Trunk. Sirius XM's Volume.
And we're back with King Diamond here on Trunk Nation, hanging out with me on a Thursday here in the Dallas area. It's great to spend some time catching up with King. So much to talk about. You know, you were just saying during the commercial break, with all the health stuff you went through and all the recovery and everything, that it's still for you you kind of have to pinch yourself that you're actually still here. It's kind of surreal that you've actually survived all this in some ways.
Yeah, I don't live a day without thinking about death. I simply don't, you know. I mean, I can't take for granted that I wake up tomorrow. I'm glad when I do, but it's something I have to live with, you know. And it is weird. It's not as bad as it was right after the operation when we started actually taking walks, me and my wife, where I had to have confirmed from her that I was actually there. I would touch her shoulder and say, you feel this, right? Or I would fall asleep in a chair and I would wake up in a nightmare, you know, and she would be there, hey, it's okay. And I'd be like, what? I'm here, right? It was very, very strange. I felt like in some ways that I didn't deserve to be here for some reason.
Well, let me ask you about that. Did that change your views on anything? I mean, people know you are, I mean, we've talked about this before, your views on religion and things like that. Having this near-death experience and surviving, and you said to yourself, you said just a few seconds ago, you're like, why did I survive? Has it changed anything in your thinking at all?
No. It did nothing at all. It really hasn't.
And I think there's a lot of people misconstrue a lot about what you stand for and your image and everything that you've done in your music. So for clarification purposes, what is it? What do you believe? Like you said, you think about death all the time. What do you personally believe when you die?
About when I die, you know, I don't have a religious belief as such. I don't have a book or anything else to hold onto and get let's say knowledge from that for me that doesn't work.
I think it's interesting you live in Texas, by the way, which there's a church on every
that's
corner.
funny. People say that a lot. You know, how can you live in the Bible? I don't even see the Bibles around here. It's like
No, but you driving here, I passed 15 churches on the Parkway alone.
That I noticed, you know, and I think churches are beautiful, you know. I mean, it's like I love the architecture. I love to be in them too, you know, for looking around and seeing how they were created. So it's not like that, but.
So suddenly,
when I die, I believe that I will see in some way my parents and my cats and you know the beloved ones that I have lost. I believe I will see in some shape or form. It can't be like they said there's a bird. It could be. I don't know, but that doesn't matter. I'm sure I will recognize them, but. That's not a thing to form a religion around, if you know what I mean.
But you know there's that thing, and I mentioned this to you on the TV show too, people say they have what they call deathbed conversions, where they think they're almost going to die, and they don't believe in anything, and all of a sudden they recover, they're like suddenly
they get scared, like, I better do it now.
They hold a Bible above their head the rest of their life. For you, you're still how would you describe what you are? Would it be agnostic? What would you say?
If I see suddenly someone when I'm on my deathbed that's standing with a pitchfork and haunting his head, maybe I will think about
that's
it.
You.
But, so
that's who's coming for you.
Yeah. So, but he already has my soul. So, what does he want, right?
Yeah, but and the big change in your life that happened in the last year was not religion, but this is to me the most powerful thing that can happen to anybody, and you've had your first child.
Yeah.
So congratulations to you and your wife.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, Byron. Yeah. It's
1-year-old boy.
Yeah,
he's 1 year old.
Just turned 1 year.
You got your hands full. How you like him being a father?
It's awesome. He's so amazing. I mean, absolutely, it is amazing. You know, so it gives you. There's a lot of things that give you more, what do you say, like inspiration for continuing doing what you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I want to go out and play more shows. 2019 seems like we will be playing more shows than we might have ever played in a year in our career. And that has a lot to do with new management and great booking agents and, you know, record label. Everybody around is really doing a great job of trying to put a whole lot of things together that would never have been possible the way we were doing things up till now, where we have done everything ourselves, you know. I know 5B was very surprised that we had gotten to where we were without having management ever. We had to learn the hard way all the time, you know, but it's nice to have the knowledge, and now it's great to see some people that have the power to open doors that we cannot open ourselves.
Going back to being a dad, you told me you named your son Byron.
Yes.
And explain after who?
Definitely inspired by David Byron, my favorite singer of all times. Uriah Heep's old singer, who is not with us anymore, but
Uriah Heep they were one of your favorite bands?
Absolutely. I saw them 6 times with David Byron in Copenhagen.
Wow. See, that's an interesting, because I was telling you before, they're currently on tour now in America with the current lineup.
Yeah.
But Uriah Heep were never that impactful in America compared to what they meant, I think, in other parts of the world, in Europe and stuff.
Yeah.
They were a big band for you growing up in Denmark?
Very much so. They were the same as Deep Purple, actually.
Really? Did they draw as many people? Were they as popular as Deep Purple?
Deep Purple would play the KB Hall where Lars Ulrich was his first show. I was there too, you know. Which is, I can't remember how many people that held, but Uriah Heep would play the Falconer Theatre or Tivoli's Concert Hall, which is almost the same size, you know, so very, very popular, absolutely, you know. Back then you would see Slade, Geordie, I saw Geordie several times with Brian Johnson there twice.
Wow.
So that was very interesting too, you know, before he ever joined AC/DC. And I mean, UFO, you love UFO, you know, and I saw back when they had just released No Heavy Petting. I hadn't heard the album at that time, but it was amazing. I never saw Michael Schenker's face during the whole concert because he was just standing bent over his Flying V, and the hair was in front of just that's all I saw. But it was amazing to see them, you know. And I would go to all the concerts back then. I have Dinnich's autographs, you know, that I showed to the fans one day too, and on a piece of paper, which is actually a flyer from a Blue Oyster Cult concert.
Oh my gosh.
I saw them at a Blue Oyster Cult concert 4 days after I think that I saw them playing Hard Rock Cafe in Copenhagen. Then I went to see Blue Oyster Cult at this Tivoli's concert hall, and there in the bar was all of Thin Lizzy. And that's where I got the autographs. So I had them sign on the back of this Blue Oyster Cult, what is it, like a discography kind of like, so they're very interesting.
Going back to having, I want to talk to you about some of the early days in Denmark too, and we're going to take some of the calls as well. But real quick, going back to your son, having a child, this is your first, right?
Yeah.
So at this point in your life, this late in your life,
Yeah.
did your health scare have anything to do with the fact that you thought it would be good to have a child now too? The idea of having...
We've always loved children, you know, but it's always been like, yeah, well, we can't have it now with all the business. We always
Touring
traveling
musician,
and all
right.
this, like, and then it became like, you know what? To hell with that. It's gotta happen.
People
and if it's
find a
gotta
way to
happen,
make it work.
it's now.
Right.
Absolutely. He was 6 weeks old. 6 weeks old when he was in Mexico City for a show there.
Wow.
So he was there, and then he went with us to Brazil, Sao Paulo, and then he went to Santiago, Chile, and Las Vegas.
Have you put the King Diamond makeup on him yet?
Yes. No. No.
And a little bassinet, he's got the makeup on. You know, because there's fans that probably envision that baby being born with the makeup already on, right?
Of course. And I already made him a little human bone microphone.
Oh my God, it's funny stuff. All right, you have a little more time for us?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Thank you so much. We want to talk more with King Diamond. There's a lot of other things I want to get into, but you know, you talk about growing up in Denmark and your early years, and I want to talk a little bit about that because it's very different, the bands that were impactful, I think, in Denmark versus the bands that made their mark here in America, and also American bands that you did see that you liked.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit about your early years and the evolution of Merciful Fate and all that, and more about what's going on now. And I promise you guys listening, I know we got people on hold, we will come to the phones, let you talk to King Diamond as well. It's Eddie Trunk live from McKinney, Texas, with King Diamond on this Thursday, Trunk Nation, Sirius XM 106 volume. Coming right back with more after this.
Holy Week and Easter Sunday.